You can probably relate to this story. As I'm sleeping sweetly in my bed, all of a sudden my alarm rings. I need to wake up and do exactly this video. From the moment I open my eyelids, this little voice inside of my head starts speaking to me. You didn't sleep good enough. You should have went to bed earlier. You should have read more. You should have prepared better for this video. You're not prepared. You don't have notes. Should you have breakfast or no breakfast? Should you do the video fasted or not fasted? When you're fasted, you think better. When you have eaten, then you think slower. What about your morning routine? You should brush your teeth. You should wash your face. Look at your eyes. They're very sleepy. They're not good enough for the video. What about this thing on your mouth? What about your teeth? Maybe they're a little bit yellow today. Or what about your haircut? You haven't had a fresh cut in a long time. Maybe the viewers don't like you. And which t-shirt should I use? The black one, the white one, the blue one, the one with the bear? I don't know. And work today. Oh, and the weather is so bad today. It puts me in a bad mood. And for lunch, what should I eat for lunch? And then after that, I have a meeting with my friend. Should I shower before or should I wear something? All these kind of thoughts come in my head from the moment I wake up. And this gets me mad. Because for a very, very, very long time, I identified with these thoughts. These thoughts became not something that is in my head, but these thoughts became me. And in this video, you realize that you are not your thoughts. And the moment you realize this, you start to do this kind of detachment from your thoughts, which is going to help you remember who you actually are. Our mind is a tool that we can use to solve our problems. For example, if you need to screw something, some bolt or something like that, you use the screwdriver. But you don't use the screwdriver every single day, right? You use it whenever you need it. But what happens with our mind? Instead of using our mind to solve some problems, to use our God-given strength, which is logic, what happens instead is that our mind uses us. Our mind is working non-stop. And without realizing it, we become the tool. We are not in control. This is the reality. If we were in control, we would be able to use our mind whenever we wanted. But our mind is working non-stop. And you may think that this is something good. You may think that the example that I gave in the beginning, with the hundreds of thoughts that came in my mind from the moment I woke up, you may think that this is something useful. But it's really not. It really isn't. It's like the screwdriver using you. It's ridiculous. But that's what happens with our mind. Our mind is working 24/7 and it makes us forget who we are. Because once you get an anxious thought, once you get a fearful thought, these thoughts are not you. They don't make you fearful and anxious. These are just thoughts. And maybe a good question to ask is what to do with these thoughts then? They keep on coming up. And the answer is very simple. The answer is to observe them. What does one observer do? For example, when you go at the lake, you sit on one bench and you just observe the lake. You just watch how the lake is just sitting there and maybe some birds coming in, maybe the sun is shining, the trees are shaking from the breeze. This is what an observer does. He just watches without judging. He just enjoys the present moment. And this is what we need to do with our thoughts. Just observe them. Observe, and putting yourself from the position of the observer is a game changer when it comes to, let's say, mental health, self-help, everything that we need to do in this channel. Why? Because once you go away from your head and you start to become the observer of your thoughts, then first of all, you don't identify with them. And second of all, you let them go. You see them as something outside of you. And they can run their course and just, thoughts are non-stop. Then, for example, whenever you're put in a situation that may arise anxiety and fear in you, these thoughts come up and then you see them as something outside of you. Then you see them like your mind trying to give you some ideas, but you just disregard it. It's like when you're looking for ideas and your friends tell you some ideas, and some of them you don't like them, some of them you do. So we need to use our mind whenever it is helping us, and whenever it is not, we should just observe it. It's like a little kid that is constantly speaking to you. Yeah, it can speak, oh, this is the color pink, oh, I'm playing here in the sand, oh, my teacher yesterday. We shouldn't identify ourselves with these little kids, right? It can speak forever about different types of things, but it's not us. And our mind is not us, we are the observer. This is the most basic kind of spiritual thing. That there is us and there is our mind. And you may not believe this, but your happiest moments in life were when your mind was quiet, when you were 100% present in the current moment and enjoying it fully. These were your happiest moments. You may go back in time. For me, I always say in every video when it comes to this topic, my happiest moments, I analyze this about myself, is when I'm with close people of mine, when I don't have any background thoughts, when I just myself, when I'm laughing, when I'm talking, when I'm enjoying the atmosphere. Exactly these are my happiest moments, when there are not thoughts in my head. And this goes both ways. So you can achieve this happiness when these thoughts finally start to be silent. That's why many people, for example, chase this adrenaline sports, like high risk sports, riding motorcycles, climbing mountains, or even martial arts, because they put them in this flow state, they put them in this present moment without any thoughts. Because when you're in these high risk environments, when you're in an emergency, all of your thoughts start to disappear and you are completely 100% present. And this is what people are chasing. This is what also addictions kind of try to bring you. Because, for example, the gambler who goes to the casino and does the, how do you say, the spinning wheel, not the spinning wheel, the games, with the sevens, with the crowns, with the hearts, he just there and do you think he's thinking about his family, about what's happening at home, what does he have to do tomorrow, does he have to go to the gym, etc., etc.? No, he's thinking only about the spinning numbers and symbols and the casino, the winning, the adrenaline. This is what everything comes about. This is what we are secretly after, this freedom. But crazy enough, the prison that we are all in and we are trying to escape is prison that we make ourselves. This is a crazy thought, but how we can fix this is by stop identifying ourselves with the mind. The mind is a tool that we are supposed to use for good, but the tool starts to use us. Like money, let's say. We are supposed to use money for good. We're supposed to use money to make our life better. But what we use money for is to destroy ourselves. We use it for, like I said, casino, for some instant pleasures, from, I don't know, some things that are going to ultimately destroy us. This is also our mind, our thoughts, all the different thoughts that come in your brain. They are not you. And it's okay to have them. Don't get me wrong. It's completely okay to have them. But we need to improve our relationship with them. We need to change the dynamic between them and to become the observer, just to look at them, and you'll see how they pass. And you'll see how the more present you are, the less thoughts you're going to have. And something that really doesn't help with this is constantly using social media, constantly looking at the news, constantly just content from everywhere, whether that is from the TV, from the radio, from the phone, from the laptop, from YouTube, from Twitch, from all the different websites, from Instagram, from TikTok especially. Because what we do to our mind, to our brain, is that, let's say on TikTok, every 5 seconds, new information, new information, new information. And we start to get our mind used to giving you thoughts and information every 5 seconds, something different. That's why sometimes you believe that you're crazy, because your mind gives you information, you think about this, you think about that, you think about this. That's how you start to overthink. And I realized I'm a person that I preach this completely, and I try to stop social media for a long time, and I'm really struggling with YouTube, but I don't have Instagram, I barely use Facebook. And this has given me the one of the biggest benefits in my life. Not using social media has helped me tremendously, being more present, being more grateful, being more happy. And I don't know why, or at least I didn't know why this comes about. But now, after learning more, after experiencing more, I start to understand. And on a psychological, medical side, yes, it can be the dopamine, that my dopamine is not so stimulated. That's why I enjoy real life more. And this is completely true. But on the spiritual side, is that I don't bombard my mind with more information and it making me think and think and think and think. I live more in the present moment. Because the present moment is all that we have. Even if you think that in the future things will be different, in the future you just have a different present moment. We need to improve our relationship with the present moment. And in the present moment, thoughts are not very useful. Yes, if you have a situation that you have to deal with, yes, sit down, use your mind, fix the situation, and then continue without it. But you are not your thoughts. And the moment you start to realize this, you realize that you are not anxious, you're not fearful, you're not a bad person. It's just some thoughts that are in your head. These thoughts are not facts, guys. Because the serial killer thinks that he's innocent. The scammer thinks that he's doing good. These thoughts are not facts. They're not you. They don't identify you. Even the best people have some bad thoughts and they don't identify them. It's like probably you have a friend that continues to speak no matter what on every topic. Sometimes you just don't listen. Sometimes you don't take everything that they are saying for the truth. And that's how it should be. Your thoughts are not you. Stop identifying with them. You're something much better, much bigger, much greater than your thoughts. Stop identifying with a screwdriver. You're something much more.